I speak to you today with feelings of profound sorrow.
Don't be misled entirely by appearances, which is very easy to do.
And I know that my eldest will now demonstrate.
Did King Charles just erase Meghan Markle's daughter from royal history? Rumors are swirling after Princess Lilibet's profile vanished without warning. Meghan's reaction? Explosive. Is this a royal snub or something far deeper? We've got the theories you won't hear on the news. Watch now. And don't forget to subscribe. 1 minute she was there. The next, completely gone. No headline, no press release, just silence. Royal watchers were stunned when Princess Lilibet's profile suddenly vanished from the official royal family website. This wasn't a small update tucked away behind the scenes. It was a digital erasure of one of the most high-profile children born into the monarchy in recent years. And the most jaw-dropping part? No explanation. The royal website, which lists key members of the family and their public roles, had always included Prince Harry and Meghan's children. But now, Lilibet's dedicated page had quietly been removed. This wasn't just a technical glitch. It looked intentional, selective. And reports say that when Meghan Markle found out, she was completely blindsided. No one from the palace reached out, no formal notice, nothing. For the Duchess of Sussex, this wasn't just a web update. It felt like a calculated move, one that struck at the heart of her family. Now you might be wondering, why does this matter so much? Well, in the royal world, recognition on the official website isn't just symbolic, it's a sign of legitimacy, belonging. It's a way the institution publicly acknowledges who is part of the firm and who isn't. So when a royal child's profile disappears, especially without warning, it sends a message, a very specific message, one that says, "You're out." But why now? That's what people can't stop talking about. There weren't any sweeping changes to the site, no new layout, no design overhaul. Lilibet's profile was the only one noticeably removed. Other royal children remained right where they were. The timing was suspicious. Some believe it was part of a broader strategy. Others think it was an attempt to test Meghan's reaction, to see if she'd respond, push back, or stay quiet. But instead of calming the conversation, the move sparked a frenzy. Suddenly, all the old rumors about Meghan, Harry, and their children came rushing back into the spotlight. Inside their Montecito home, sources say Meghan was livid. This wasn't just about royal politics. It was about her daughter, Lilibet Diana, being erased by the family she was born into. Meghan reportedly felt betrayed, frustrated, and ready to fight back. She wasn't screaming or throwing things, but she was organizing. Legal pads came out, calls were made, advisors were looped in. She wasn't reacting emotionally, she was preparing strategically. According to insiders, Meghan began pulling together every digital record she could find. Archived web pages, screenshots, metadata from the royal website. Anything that could help her piece together a timeline and understand the motive behind the removal. To Meghan, this wasn't just an oversight, it was deliberate. And the lack of communication from Buckingham Palace only reinforced that belief. The Duchess was furious, but focused, because she believed this wasn't about protocol, it was personal. The digital deletion didn't happen in a vacuum. In fact, it pulled back the curtain on something much bigger, something that's been whispered about for years, the birth of Meghan and Harry's children. From the very beginning, there were inconsistencies that raised eyebrows. For starters, the birth certificate. Many eagle-eyed royal watchers noticed that Lilibet's certificate had some strange omissions. Doria Ragland's full details were left out. And even more curious, the area code listed wasn't California at all, it was from Colorado, a completely different state. Then there was the now viral video of Meghan pregnant, where her baby bump appeared to shift oddly as she moved. To some, it seemed like an optical illusion. To others, it looked like something far stranger. These pieces alone might seem harmless, but together they fueled years of speculation that Meghan may have used a surrogate. Now let's be clear, there's no shame in that path. But in the royal family, where bloodlines are everything, any deviation from protocol can trigger a wave of scrutiny. And despite the public speculation, Meghan and Harry have never directly addressed those rumors, not once. If you look closely at the palace's behavior over the past few years, a pattern begins to emerge. This isn't the first time Meghan and Harry's children have been subtly pushed to the sidelines. Their profiles were once prominently displayed on the royal homepage, until they weren't. Lilibet and Archie were left out of official birthday announcements, major events, and even the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Slowly but surely, their digital presence was shrinking. Now, with Lilibet's entire profile removed, many believe this is no longer a coincidence. It's part of a bigger, long-term plan to distance the Sussex children from the monarchy. And the palace? Still silent. No denial, no justification. Just quiet erasure, one calculated step at a time. While Meghan is reportedly gearing up for a response, Prince Harry finds himself in a deeply uncomfortable position. On one side is his wife and children. On the other, the royal institution that raised him. Sources close to the couple say Harry is torn. He's angry about the profile removal, yes, but he also feels trapped by royal protocol, by tradition, by loyalty to his father, King Charles. And it's wearing on him, and he hasn't made any public statements, no interviews, no social media posts, just silence. But sometimes silence says more than words. Those close to him believe he's reaching a breaking point, and that eventually he may have to choose. Stand with the crown or stand with his family? Back in Montecito, Meghan isn't waiting. According to reports, she's quietly building her case, collecting everything, screenshots, emails, archived documents, even past statements made by royal staff. She's preparing not to lash out, but to strike smart. And while some believe she's planning a media reveal, others suggest something more dramatic, a legal challenge. Sources say Meghan sees this not just as a personal attack, but as defamation by omission. By removing Lilibet from the website without reason, the palace may have cast doubt on her legitimacy. And that, to Meghan, is unacceptable. Rumors are swirling that she's already consulted lawyers, that PR teams are strategizing, that certain media contacts have been quietly prepped for what might come next. And if there's one thing we've learned about Meghan Markle, it's this. When she responds, it's never small. Through all of this, the royal family has stayed silent. No statements, no press briefings, nothing. But that silence might be more strategic than it seems. Insiders say the palace is watching Meghan's next move carefully. Some believe they're trying to avoid triggering a public war. Others think they're quietly preparing their own response, just in case. But one thing's clear, if Meghan goes public with documents or proof of internal communications, the royal family's carefully curated image could take a serious hit. Still, they're betting she won't. They believe she'll back down, stay quiet, or eventually let it fade. But if they're wrong, the fallout could be historic. What's really at stake here isn't just a missing webpage. It's legacy, identity, and the unspoken power struggle playing out behind palace gates. When Princess Lilibet's profile vanished from the royal website without a trace, it wasn't simply a technical update. It was a symbolic move that carries real consequences, both emotionally and institutionally. In the world of royalty, where appearances are everything, public visibility on the official royal platform is more than a courtesy. It's an endorsement. So when that visibility is quietly taken away, the message is impossible to ignore. You don't belong. For Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, this isn't just about a snub. It's a direct challenge to their daughter's legitimacy, a quiet but powerful statement from the very institution that is supposed to recognize and protect her. And that matters, not only because it affects Lilibet's public identity, but because it could eventually impact her legal and historical standing within the royal succession. If there's any truth to the whispers surrounding inconsistencies in her birth records or the absence of certain protocols, this opens up a door the palace might not want opened, one that invites legal scrutiny, public doubt, and media chaos. Meghan reportedly sees this deletion as the first domino in a broader campaign, an attempt to slowly push her children out of the royal fold, not with loud proclamations, but with silent erasures. That's why she's reportedly not just angry. She's preparing, gathering documents, timelines, and digital evidence, not to make noise, but to take action. And if it turns out the palace removed Lilibet's profile knowing it would spark controversy, or worse, knowing it would validate long-standing speculation, Meghan may have grounds to push back in court or in public. Either way, this isn't about a single webpage anymore. It's about power, control, and who gets to write the story of a royal child's place in history. The monarchy has operated for centuries on the belief that silence is strength, that subtle actions speak louder than explanations. But in the age of digital footprints, social media, and global accountability, silence can quickly turn into suspicion. And once that suspicion spreads, it's incredibly hard to contain. Meghan seems to understand that. And if she decides to go public with what she knows, the palace could be facing a storm far bigger than they anticipated. Because when you erase someone from history, you don't just challenge their place. You provoke a fight over who gets to define the truth. And for Meghan, that fight may have just begun. So what happens now? Let us know in the comments. Do you believe this was just a mistake? or a message? And what should Meghan do next?